Well, it's yeah.
Oh, what's that? That's cool. Go ahead. In case you didn't know, we started our own pistol match series.
So we started our Average Joe Summer Series match. This is match 1. We're excited. It's our first match. We got a lot of great shooters out here. We got guys competing for some cash, some other guys competing for some gift cards. We're here at Gritter, who's an amazing supporter of our process here, and we're just super excited. Let's get going. You have to have a magazine.
Shoot that stage 2 from Wes.
I don't know. I saw you do it. I saw what to do. I don't know why. Yeah, I know.
Do this typewriter. Just
I know.
Same exact. Okay.
I saw it. As I did it, I was like, way to know have a stage plan and not execute. Like, okay, so a minute ago in my video, which you'll see, I go, why can't I shoot like that? That's why I can't shoot like that, because I don't think so good like he does. Yes, sir. With the man's is insane.
Appreciate you all coming out and trying something new. Hopefully you all enjoyed it. If you have any feedback, constructive or otherwise, just share it with Jimmy.
So there you go. There was a quick look at week 1 of the Average Joe's Pistol Match series. So we've got a full 6-week series that we've got to finish out, and then we'll take a break, we'll reevaluate, and then figure out when the next series will be. It looks like we'll continue to do these because they seem to be pretty popular. People seem to be enjoying them. But I wanted to answer a couple questions about them that we've been getting. The main thing is why? Why start a pistol series? And there's been a little bit of pushback too on us starting this series from other competitors or other series and things like that. So wanted to give a quick look into why we're doing what we're doing. So we wanted to start a series because, as I've said in the past, there's certain things I don't like about other series, right? And that's my own personal thing. And I always tell people, if you don't like something, either do it different or do it better, right? And that's what we're trying to do. We see a gap in the market and we're trying to find a way to fill that gap. So for example, we see, Mike and I have talked about this, about how we see guys get intimidated at matches through ROs or through more experienced shooters. And people have said, well, you know, USPSA matches are not the place to go and learn to shoot matches. And that's fine. I agree with you on that. But what I would say is that there still needs to be somewhere for them to learn. And that's part of what this match does, is it creates a space where we have really competitive shooters competing for actual prizes and cash. And then we have a space for guys who are newer shooters or maybe middle of the pack and still giving them a chance to compete against better competition for those who are newer, giving them a chance to learn. So as you saw in the video, there was times where Taylor was getting coached by Ryan Wilkes, who's a better shooter than him. And Mike had a couple of times where he was coaching guys and helping them work through how to stage plan or how to approach a stage differently. I know I had a couple of interactions where I talked to guys about, when your back is facing the target, how do you turn safely and make sure you're not flagging anybody, how to approach those things. And you're not going to get that at a USPSA match most of the time. So we wanted to create a space that does that. We wanted a consistent place where people can go and have good stages, a good match, and have something to win, right? And so by having a cash payout, it draws in better shooters so that newer shooters can see those better shooters and see what it takes to get to that level and then compete against them. So that's part of why we did the cash payouts. The other thing is, like, we got rid of the categories because I think they're arbitrary. There's too many debates about what should be included and what shouldn't. So if we just get rid of it altogether and make it purely based on skill, cool. And then people are going to argue and say, oh, well, GMs with open guns are going to win. Okay, cool. Well, just be better. I don't know what to tell you. So every gunfight is an open gunfight. It's a Wednesday night match. This isn't a national event. So take it easy, relax, take a deep breath. So we're just trying to help grow the community, right? So ultimately, the ultimate goal from this is to grow the community. The more new shooters we introduce to the sport, the better they're going to get, the more involved they're going to get, and the better it is for everybody as a whole. Right? So USPSA has its own issues right now, and it's struggling to grow the sport. Like, let's just be honest and open, because of their issues that are widely documented by Ben Stoker and others, and like seeing guys like Hunter Constantine getting DQ'd for whatever, and then other guys who are getting DQ'd because this RO has DQ'd this person 3 or 4 or 5 or 6 times, at different matches. So they have their own issues they've got to sort out. But those issues are turning people away from the sport, and they're turning them away from USPSA matches. And if the sport isn't growing, if we're not bringing in new competitors, it's bad for all of us, because eventually USPSA goes away. And there's not anything to fill that gap currently, anything viable. I know there's a couple options out there that are up and coming and doing better, but we've got to continue to grow the sport. We've got to continue to get shooters into that. So this is our part in doing that. How do we do that? How do we get new competitors into this? And if they have a good time doing it here, they'll eventually take that step to USPSA. I'm not telling people not to go shoot USPSA. I'm not telling them to not go shoot IDPA. I'm saying we have a space to bring those competitors in, to give them an alternative to practice and prep, so that way when they get to a USPSA match or an IDPA match, they don't get DQ'd, they feel like they're ready, they feel like they're prepared, and they continue to progress the sport, and we all benefit from it. So that's why we're doing the Average Joe's series the way we are. Now, the other thing we've gotten pushback about is the qualifiers. Why don't the qualifiers, the USPSA qualifiers, count for anything? Or sorry, classifiers. Why don't the classifiers count for anything? And the reason for that is, one, we didn't want to pay the fees for it because it would raise everybody's price for the match up. And then 2, the main reason we did the classifiers is just because it's a very simple thing to set up. It's very quick and easy. And we have a window that we have to operate in. So we wanted to make sure that logistically we could get through all the stages and be out of there within the window they've given us, right? Gritter have been very gracious hosts to us. They've done a lot to make these matches happen, and they've also donated the gift cards for the winners of Cat 2 and Cat 3. So because of that, we want to be very respectful of their time and of the space. So we wanted to make sure that we get out in that time. Now, the plan had always been to either, 1, add more stages, or change the stages so that they're a little bit more intricate, something that you would see at a USPSA match or, a 2 or 3 gun match. And that is the plan down the road. We will start to incorporate other things like walls and different props and things like that. But we needed to make sure that we could get it done in time. So now that we know that, you'll start to see after week 2, which is at the time of filming today, you'll start to see some of those changes come in, and then maybe over time opening up either the amount of shooters we can have or adding in more stages. So again, we're going to do these in series, 6-week series, so that you guys know, hey, for this 6 weeks, I know they're going to have a match. I know there's going to be a cash payout for Cat 1. And yeah, so I think it'll be, it's been a fun time. It's cool to see the mix of shooters that we had out there, first time competitors, more experienced competitors, and everything in between. So it was a ton of fun. And if you guys are interested in signing up for one, I will leave a link down below in our practice score. I will also leave a link to Average TX, Mike, who is the match director. He's the one who runs all these. He's doing all the planning. He's doing a phenomenal job. So a big shout out to Mike, and then all the crew who helped volunteer to help him. I know Chris was out there, Zach was out there, Barajas was out there, Jack was out there. Thank you to all you guys who came to help set up to make these matches happen and flow as smoothly as they did. Yeah, so if you guys have any questions about our matches, let us know. And yes, there are plans to expand these. There are plans to make bigger versions of this. And that's all I'm going to say on it for now. But Thank you guys for following along. If you're interested in checking them out, hit up Mike. Check out the links down below. Make sure to like and subscribe. Karate chop that bell so you get notified every time I upload a video, and I will see you guys in the next one.
Do what I want, Chris.
Flip flops on the range. Safe as it gets right there.
That's right.
If you were wondering about the cash payout, winner walked away with $500 cash. Second place took home, I think, $300. And then third place took home $160. So come shoot Cat 1, win some cash. Also, Rod and Rose merch coming soon.